Welcome to Geek University, the show that gives you an all-encompassing look into geek culture. On today's episode, we'll be discussing fan conventions. So what is a fan convention? A fan convention is an event that promotes and celebrates different elements of pop culture. Fan conventions of varying sizes are held every year in convention centers, hotels, and malls all around the world, and usually take place over an extended weekend. For some of the larger conventions, it's not uncommon to find attendees from all parts of the globe. These events provide a unique opportunity to meet new friends who share in your common interests. They are also a great place to network, as many industry insiders will be in attendance as well. Many fan conventions are themed. This means they are tied to a specific property or genre. While one convention may be about a specific TV show or set of characters, another may be about just anime or comic books. There are plenty of generally themed fan conventions as well. These more general events try to provide a more diverse set of content in order to bring in more people. Either way, the goal remains the same. Create a fun and inviting environment for people to gather and geek out about their fandoms. So how do you attend a fan convention? First, you'll need to find an event to attend. Fancons.com is a great resource for finding upcoming fan conventions all around the world. Not only do they list the dates and locations of the event, but they even give you a direct link to the convention's website. From there, you will be able to read more about the convention itself, including things like special guests that may be attending, or special events like industry workshops and concerts. You can take a look at these and find the convention that best fits your availability and budget. If you live near a major metropolitan area, chances are there are fan conventions happening all around you all the time. If not, then you may have to travel a bit to attend one. Don't forget to include travel expenses in your preparation if necessary. Now that you've decided which convention to attend, it is time to purchase your badge. Your badge is your ticket into the event. It lets the convention staff know who you are and shows them that you are authorized to be in attendee-only places such as panel rooms or the vendor hall. I highly recommend buying your badge in advance for a couple of reasons. First, many conventions like San Diego Comic-Con cap their attendance and only sell a certain amount of tickets to the event. Second, prices for these events go up at various points throughout the year. They are usually at their most expensive at the door the day of the event. By buying in advance, you don't have to worry about the event selling out, and you usually save some money. It also saves you time when you go to pick up your badge, as the pre-registration lines tend to move a lot faster than the buy-at-the-door lines. If you have to stay in a hotel during the convention, I also suggest booking your room as early as the hotel will allow. Hotels associated with the convention usually give a special rate to the convention attendees. But these rooms tend to sell out quickly, so make sure you get one before they are gone. As the convention dates draw closer, the convention will begin to put out its schedule. You should take the time to plan your convention as much as possible. This will ensure you get the maximum amount of bang for your buck. Go ahead and pencil in any special guests and events you want to see, then fill in the rest of your days with things that you might find interesting. It's also good to have some backups just in case something gets canceled or you don't get into your first choice due to high demand. Don't forget to also include time for lining up, especially if you're trying to see a famous celebrity. These types of panels tend to fill up quick, and you'll want to plan accordingly. So what is there to actually do at a fan convention? Panels. Every convention lives or dies by its content. A convention's content is usually delivered in the form of panels. A panel is a block of time that is earmarked for discussion with either certain people or about a certain topic. These are usually broken down into three main types: celebrity panel, fan panel, and informative panel. A celebrity panel is usually a Q&A session with a particular star or stars about their respective works. These can include a cast from a particular show, such as The Expanse, or individuals who have a large body of work that stands on its own, like William Shatner. Fan panels are usually created by fans for fans in order to discuss whatever their particular fandom might be. These types of panels can be hit or miss depending on the ability of the moderator to keep things moving and the depth of the topical knowledge of the panelists themselves. Informative panels are meant to provide the attendee with information about the chosen topic and are usually made up of panelists who are industry insiders and experts in their field. For instance, there could be an informative panel on upcoming NASA missions, or an informative panel about the history of Victorian postcards. Vendor halls. The vendor hall is where all of the convention's merchants are gathered in order to sell their goodies to convention attendees. Vendors sell everything from toys to comics to clothing to games and everything else in between. The vendor hall can sometimes be the most crowded place at a convention, as some people will attend a convention just to go to the vendor hall itself. Inside the hall, each vendor is given a numbered booth that is lined in numbered aisles or rows. This allows for you to easily locate specific vendors you may be looking for. Prices at the booths are set by the vendors themselves. It's not uncommon for some items to be marked up in price a little during the convention. We call this the convention tax. So, you should definitely have your cell phone handy so you can do a quick price check to make sure you're not vastly overpaying. The vendor hall is also a great place to find out of stock, out of print, or even limited edition items you may have been wanting for a long time. Many vendors are also just brick and mortar store owners who bring their store items with them to sell. They particularly like to bring items that have been sitting on their shelves for a while, so this means they are motivated to get rid of it and may be willing to haggle. Make sure to check for the vendor hall's hours of operation, as many vendor halls close at different times than the convention itself. This is especially true if the convention runs 24-hour content each day of the event. Some conventions will also operate the artist booths separate from the general retail booths, so make sure you're aware of that as well. The Walk of Fame. The Walk of Fame is an area of the convention set aside for the celebrity guests to meet with fans, sign autographs, and take pictures. At most conventions, the price of an autograph or picture is set by the celebrity. But even if you don't plan to purchase an autograph or picture, the Walk of Fame is still a great place to visit. Just walking around and seeing all of the celebrities gathered together can be pretty exciting, especially the ones you weren't able to see in a panel. It's also a good opportunity to ask them a question. Though before asking a question, please be sure to ask their handler if it is okay first, especially if you're not planning on purchasing an autograph or picture. Most celebrities and their handlers are really nice and won't mind, but you're better safe than sorry. Special events. Many conventions also run special events throughout the weekend. Entry to these events may be included with your convention membership, or they may require additional charges. These events can also be held both on and off-site of the convention. They can include things like costume photo shoots, fan meetups, visits to local area attractions, contests, film festivals, parades, and even concerts. Check the convention schedule for any special events they may be planning. The schedule should also tell you whether or not the event is included in your convention membership. Costuming and cosplay. From an outsider's perspective, costumes and cosplays can be almost indistinguishable. The key difference is in the wearer's demeanor while in the outfit. Are they trying to be the character, or just simply look like them? If they are trying to be the character, then it is cosplay. If they are just trying to look like the character, then it is costuming. There is also a lot of debate over whether or not they should be made versus bought, but that is a discussion for another day. These costumes can range from very simple to incredibly complicated. Some of them have taken the wearer months, even years, to make. Most conventions also have a costume contest to reward the best of the best from the weekend. Feel free to wear a costume yourself. There's no pressure on attendees to wear a costume, but it's certainly a welcome activity for all. Whether you decide to wear a costume or not, make sure you set aside some time for people watching in the areas where most people congregate during the convention. This will be the best place to get pictures of the best costumes from over the weekend. Just make sure you always ask permission before taking a picture or touching the cosplayer or their costume. And always remember, cosplay does not equal consent. The gaming hall. Most conventions will have a gaming hall somewhere on site. This is where convention attendees can gather to play games with each other. The gaming hall is also a great place to relax for a bit and do some people watching, all while still having fun with your friends or someone you just met. It's not uncommon to see the entire gamut of games being played here. Everything from board games to arcade games, and even role-playing games will be broken out and played. Some gaming halls even offer demos of new games or old favorites. As some tabletop games can be quite pricey, this is a great place to try a new game before purchasing it. Unlike the vendor hall, most gaming halls stay open during all hours of operation during the convention. This means it is possible for you to do panels all day and game all night. As always though, check the gaming hall's hours of operation just to be sure. Quick tips. Before letting you go, here are a few quick tips for making your convention experience more enjoyable. Some have already been mentioned, but are worth repeating. 1. Always purchase your convention ticket and book your convention hotel as early as possible. This ensures availability and helps reduce your attendance cost. 2. Plan as much of your time at the convention as you can in advance. The more organized you are, the more you'll be able to see and do. This includes familiarizing yourself with where things are going to be located. 3. Keep water and snacks with you at all times. Breaks can be hard to come by, so it is important to keep a bottle of water with you at all times in order to stay hydrated. Make sure to fill it up as often as possible. Quick snacks like energy bars or protein packs are always great to keep on hand as well. They'll provide you the energy you need to make it through the day, especially during ones where you don't have the time to sneak away for an actual meal. 4. Take note of areas of the convention with fewer people and less noise. Sometimes you will just need a break from it all and will want a peaceful place to do so. Check to see if your convention has organized a con suite or a timeout room. These are always great places to get away from the hustle and bustle of the convention floor for just a few minutes. Last but not least, have fun. Introduce yourself and socialize as much as possible. Everyone is there for the same reasons, to gather with other people of like interests and passions, so make the most of it and enjoy yourself. We hope you enjoyed this lesson on fan conventions. More episodes of Geek University are on the way, and if you have a geek topic you would like for us to discuss in a future episode, please leave your suggestion down in the comments below. And as always, if you liked what you saw today, please give us a like and hit that subscribe button. See you next time.